Okay. Well, I got it working. This is crazy. Let's see. I don't know where Jen is. Oh, we're going to be in the wrong position. Hi, everyone. That was a little bit nuts. I'm so sorry that we're a mess at this moment, but StreamYard decided to crash. Let me tell Jen to get back on the line here. Oh, no, Jen is gone. Oh, lovely. Okay, hi, welcome to Right Stuff. Um, while we're trying to figure it out, I guess that I will just let's start the show.
Who the hell cares?
That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
This pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
Get out of here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
Yeah.
That was freaky.
I was here, and then we had a sonic boom today, and then it just started pouring, and everything went nuts on everything.
Well, StreamYard must have been included in that because that was the nuttiest thing ever. In our 14 million years of doing this show, that has never happened before. So interesting. But we're here. We're late. Okay. But we're here.
I feel like
What's that?
I can't hear because you know what goes on. So.
Oh well, you'll figure that out as you always do.
It shut off.
It just shut off. It'll come back on. I could say hello to everybody in the meantime.
Go ahead.
All right. So Beer Nut is with us. Hello, Beer Nut. Thank you for watching us on Rumble, and thank you, Ralph, for watching us on Rumble. I appreciate it. Howard Zim. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. That was kind of crazy stuff, but we're here now. I hope you stuck with us. Muslims appreciate liberal support. Okay, that's good. Mickey, how are you, Mick T? Mick 40, sorry. Well, we're here. We're here now. I hope you stayed. Looks like you might have stayed. Billy Nolan is with us. And Ralph is on Facebook now. I guess everybody was running around trying to figure out where we were. Francine, my mother, and there you were. I was saying, oh, did you guys get kicked off the air? No, we didn't. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Jen, it's a miracle, except for what just happened now. But all of a sudden, conservative broadcasters are starting to get some traction. So let's see what happens. We're starting to see more movement on YouTube anyway. So maybe, just maybe, because the whole authoritarian platform is now crumbling, that maybe they realize that we're smarter than people think. And I'm not going to go that far, but maybe good times are ahead. Good evening, Mickey. Okay, again, thank you for waiting us out. Hi, Andrew Jorman. I had a hard time getting on. You know what? Yeah. We had a hard time. We weren't here, Mom. So
I was here, but I could see everyone. They just couldn't see me.
It was showtime. You still weren't here.
No, I was here. I was here because I watched everyone typing and going nuts, and then I tried to call you, and the phone calls wouldn't go through.
Oh, okay. Well, something was going on, but we've resolved it for this moment. Colleen and I bet Jen would be late, but we'll give her a pass tonight. Thank you. John, how are you, John? Our OG Lucille is with us tonight. Oh, J.A., thanks for joining us. And on YouTube, we appreciate it, J.A. Thank you. My computer's going nuts now. It's trying to catch up because I had to restart it so many times. Good evening, Richard. Good to have you with us. And I don't know what happened, Mom. I don't know. Hi, Colleen. Angela Ricca. Okay, Billy. Yes, Jen was here. We're gonna say Jen was here. Okay.
But I really was here.
Oh my God. The only way is to wait until the day after election day. Until then, keep praying. Yeah. Well, boy, yes. Oh, hi, Aaliyah. Thank you for joining us. This is the leader of our great Twitter, X, Twitter squad, and our Patriot squad. Thank you so very much for joining us. I've got to tell you, you know, Jen, I hated Twitter, hated. And I just did not want anything to do with it. I didn't know anyway how to tweet, how to do anything. But now I have joined this great bunch of patriots. So if you guys are on Twitter, you've got to join us. It is a great group of people, and they help each other out. And you really do get seen on Twitter, X, whatever you call it now. So they have made it so that I actually enjoy being on X. And I know you're off, but you need to join the Bad Squad Patriots, Jen. It's really worth it.
I know. I just don't like Twitter.
I know, but no, it's a whole different world. It really is. I mean, right? I mean, oh shit! Don't tell me. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm not. Is that supposed to be a secret?
Now you're kicked out. Just get rid of her.
I don't think so.
Short-lived.
No, really, Jen, it's worth it. Your free speech under Elon Musk is an amazing thing. It truly is. So everybody should get back on X and look for Bad Squad Patriots, and maybe they'll let you join and hang out with us. It's a pretty cool group. All right. So anyway, unbelievable week, Jennifer Romero. What should we talk about first?
Well, talk about the earshot.
Yeah, we could do that. But in the meanwhile, I mean, did you hear today that Menendez was found guilty?
With 16 charges. 16?
Do you know what that means?
What?
Well, besides that, he's probably
going to go to jail.
Is that New Jersey is in play with the Trump campaign. Trump is +3 in New Jersey. So even though, it's so close. Put it this way. Menendez says he's not leaving his seat. So the likelihood of him being beat by a Republican is enormous. So New Jersey's in play for the Senate. So to take back the Senate would be remarkable. And with Trump, being out there, so many states are now in play. Even before the assassination attempt, we were starting to see movement in Virginia. We were seeing movement in Pennsylvania. We were seeing movement in New York, of all places. And New Jersey. And so now with Menendez refusing to step down, he'll almost certainly be beat. And we will have another seat in the United States Senate, which is important. Jen, come join us. Yes. One of us.
Can't even get here on time, let alone play on Twitter.
Yes, North Carolina too is in play. Yes, I'm sorry. I thought I mentioned that. Quarter inch and Trump would not be with us. Deep state setup. 100%. Now, did you hear today that it was an Iranian plot to take him out?
No.
Well, the FBI had information a month ago that there was an Iranian plot to take him out. And they did nothing about it. So, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. But I wanted to start, but I want to go back a little bit before Saturday's assassination attempt. We know that Joe Biden destroyed himself at the debate, and that he's been trying to make excuses for it. And he's been trying now to get out there and talk to people. And the more he gets out there, the worse things are. So I just wanted to show you a short clip about the NATO gathering that they had and him introducing Zelensky. Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it.
But it's worth seeing again.
I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
How about when he called Trump his vice president?
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I didn't want to take too much time in reminding us about what he did before the assassination attempt, because we got a lot to talk about of what he's doing now after the assassination attempt. But just a reminder, this is Jon Stewart, and he was talking about getting rid of Biden, and he was pretty serious. So watch.
Think that you are soft selling the more fundamental aspect of people viewing somebody who, I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't know of a job interview that you could have gone on and delivered the performance that was delivered by Joe Biden and gotten a job. And I'm not talking about the presidency. I'm talking about like cashier at Home Depot, like a job that you would not think, okay, that is the hardest job in the entire world.
He wouldn't have.
You tell me what job. I mean, if he went anonymously to someone for a job, do you think he'd get it?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Maybe at ARC.
At ARP?
ARC. I said he can sort glass. I'd let him sort.
I don't know. He'd come out with
He'll probably try and eat it.
Yeah, he'd look like Edward Scissorhands. He'd be cut all over. So, Gloria is with us. How are you, darling? I find the kid shooter is an anomaly. Robotic. Oh, I know, Ralph, you have to have some theory. I've seen your Facebook posts about this whole thing. It's pretty freaking crazy that this 20-year-old was that accurate. I mean, that was really something. We're going to show some tape in a minute.
He could make the rifle team.
He couldn't make the rifle team, and all of a sudden he could shoot that close. I mean, that was a millimeter. That was insanity. Jen, I had a meeting. Joe Biden is doing a great job and should stay in the face until Election Day.
The
race. Sorry. Okay, I should have known that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. At least Biden welcomed Putin. Yeah. Did you hear the Ukraine's going to hold a peace conference and inviting Putin? Come on. Didn't hear that, J.A. What in the world? I mean, that's for real, J.A., or your humorous personality coming through? I mean, could you imagine? I believe in guardian angels. So do I. Unfortunately, the firefighter, Comparatore, was not so lucky. But he died a hero. I mean, really, could you imagine that you dedicate your life to public service as a firefighter and you save people, and you then go to this Trump rally with your family, and it's such a proud and happy day for you, and then you give the ultimate sacrifice, protecting your own family at a place where you should have been safe? I mean, it's just insane. And, everybody should really keep him in your prayers. Keep the Comparatore family in your prayers. Corey Comparatore is an absolute hero, and we should say his name as much as possible.
You mean more than Eric Garner's tomorrow?
Yeah. Is that tomorrow? Is that tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, it's I think that we should
not
say
George Floyd. It's Eric Garner.
Eric Garner is the one that was killed in Staten Island. Yeah. Well, speaking of George Floyd, I don't have the tape because of all this that happened earlier, but Joe Biden went to the NAACP and he invoked George Floyd's name about a dozen times. And it's just amazing to me, right? He was walking around saying, how could MAGA support a convicted criminal? But yet they all support George Floyd, a convicted criminal. The hypocrisy is ridiculous. And then to also, as if that is all the Black community cares about. What the man did and said at the NAACP, I wish I had time to clip it up. You should all look at it. It was amazing. He spoke down to Black people. He offended me as a white person as he was talking to Black people, as if, they needed money and they were all poor and they didn't have jobs. It was tragic. It's tragic how he changes the rhetoric depending on the community he's speaking to. I mean, because don't all people suffer the same things right now? Recession, inflation, needing jobs or jobs not paying your bills. Why does he change his rhetoric when it comes to the group that he's talking to? Really, really problematic. All right. It seems Zelensky's worried that Trump will be back in office and knows he's going to get cut off for dollars. Well, that's for sure. And I think that's why Iran put a hit on him. They know that once he gets in, that's it. But did you see the Dow Jones today? It's through the roof. And that's got nothing to do with Biden, everything to do with they know that Donald Trump is going to win. It was very close range. Every hunter in the world would have made that shot. Yeah, it's the truth. Maybe Jill would run. She is the one pushing him to keep running. Well, I don't know about that. And that would be just as bad. I'll find the source and post it on X. Thanks, JA. Guardian angels are indeed. Everyone on Fox says that it's an easy shot from 400 feet away with a rifle with a scope. Listen, I could believe it. I shoot. I know that with a pistol, it's not easy to get distance, but with a rifle, with a scope, it's much easier. There's a lot of questions because they found out that he was on the roof where the cops were actually in the building. That's where they were staging the building, that day. So crazy. Hello, Tammy. How are you, Tammy? I haven't seen you for forever. Thank you for joining us, Tammy. Okay. Could you imagine going to a rally to support a candidate with like-minded Americans and you don't come home? Too sad. Shouldn't have happened. No, it shouldn't have. It just absolute mishandled.
Yeah.
They all knelt in African garb and then put on them. Yes, agreed. I mean, we have to come back at these people. And Jen, that's the thing about Twitter or X now, is that you can have discourse on X now. It's amazing. But the interesting thing that I noticed when I was listening to Joe Biden's interviews and his NAACP speech today was that he is either
an asshole.
What?
I said an asshole.
That too. But he's regurgitating Twitter, X, everything, or he's sending his minions out on X to put the narrative into the X world. It's very interesting. Joe Biden actually saved Trump's life. If Biden didn't do such a shitty job, Trump would have never turned his head at the podium. It's the truth. It's the truth. The migrant crisis saved Trump's life. Oh my God. The Kennedy assassination was with a bolt-action rifle, but the Democrats focus away from the real facilitating facts. Antifa, socialism. Yep. Okay. Oh, great. Everybody go to JA's profile on X and
not now.
Yeah, wait till late. Anything that go against Trump only makes him stronger. Well, speaking of, all right, this one is fun. This is what the Japanese have done in the wake of the I didn't mean wake. Bad choice of words. After the Trump assassination attempt, I have no idea what they're saying. So I hope that the words that they're saying actually matches the video that they're putting on. So if we have any Japanese listeners, watchers, please translate for me.
我が心と行動に一点の曇りなし。すべてが正義だ。ドジャーンドジャーンドジャーン一体何のつもりなんだ遺体はこのバレンタインのことを好いてくれて
That's great.
I think that's freaking fantastic. I don't remember the word. Dojon. Fantastic. Please, if anybody speaks Japanese, please translate. I didn't have
Google
time.
Translate. You play your phone and do Google Translate while it's playing.
I didn't have time today. We had such a day over here today. So, all right. Anyway, everybody has seen it. It is the video of him getting shot. I don't know if everybody read the words that are at the bottom because it was a live mic. But I think it's worth playing again. Read the words. Pay attention to the words that were spoken because a lot of people said that Trump put the Secret Service in danger by popping up so many times. But just watch the video.
See something that said, take a look at what happened.
Move to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you.
Ready?
Move.
Up.
Move. Go.
Up. Hawkeye's here.
Hawkeye's here. Move it to the spare.
Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready.
We ready?
Shooter's down. Shooter's down.
Are we good? Shooter's down. Are we good to move?
Shooter's down. We're good to move.
Clear.
We're
Let's
clear.
move.
We're clear.
Let's move.
We're clear.
Come on.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Okay. My shoes down. Come on. Get the shoe.
Watch out.
Wait.
Cry every time I see that. But they're like, you damn fuck, get down. Fucking guy. Are you crying too, or are you sweating? No.
I'm neither. I'm not crying. I'm not sweating. I am in awe because when you think about it, if they would have thrown Biden down like that,
It would have broke. And then definitely shit his pants.
broke a hip for sure. They would have carried him out on a stretcher. But there is no way that man would have gotten up like that. There is no way that man would have had.
He can't get up steps because of wind. Do you think a bullet is going to let him get up? But why was Trump's shoes off? I'm dying to know.
He got knocked out of his shoes. I mean, that's not
really.
I mean, think about it. They're probably they're loafers or something like that, right? So
no, they had ties. No, they were black suit shoes with ties.
I don't know. I mean, I oh, she's gone. She's gone. Here we go. Oh no. Oh, there she is. Okay. Are you back? Can you hear?
Yeah, Eddie Gomez told him, don't call me. Don't call me until 8.
All right, we got a lot of comments here. Okay. Let's see. I would not have happened if law enforcement did their jobs. There was ample time to stop them. We're going to talk about that in a second. Are the gun control activists silenced? No, they're still talking about it. They're trying. They're doing everything in their power to pin this on Trump. I heard Donald ask Biden for more security a couple of days before the rally. Yeah, well, guess what happened? All of a sudden, Robert Kennedy Jr. has security. Isn't it amazing? He's been asking for months. And suddenly, because Trump asked, because Trump said it, all of a sudden he now has security. He's a total, listen, the 2024 presidential matchup, badass, jackass. That's it. That's what we got going on here. Right. Biden told him no. Absolutely. Not even a drone surveying the area. I worked one presidential detail when Jesse Jackson spoke. We were on every rooftop. Then bullshit. What happened? Oh yeah, it gets better. That turn of the head was a perfect, true miracle indeed. Director of Secret Service said there was no agents on the roof where the shooter was on because it was a sloped roof. I have that here where I'll show it. You can read it for yourself. Japan also supports Trump. Apparently, shooter was sent back to hell. Indeed. The F team was deployed to be Trump's security detail that day. I can tell you there were 3 badass women in that detail. I know a lot of women are taking heat because they're small, but they did their job. That woman did her job. She threw herself on him. Last night at the convention, Lee Greenwood singing God Bless the USA as President Trump was walking in. That did not give people goosebumps. Nothing will. I think it did. It made this Saturday, this assassination attempt has destroyed the Democrats, destroyed them.
Oh, yeah.
Despicable.
So
And
when
better.
the award goes to the cameraman from last night because Trump did fall out of his seat and he moved that camera so fast that he fell
Fall out of his seat.
He fell. He was going to sit down. He missed his seat. He's probably a little sedated, but he missed his seat. And if you weren't watching exactly at that moment, he went down and he went this way, and the camera and turned so fast.
I didn't
but
see
he was
that
probably
anyway.
on.
Well, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
even see it on X. That's why I'm like, I don't know what you're
No,
talking
Jimmy saw it. I saw it. People at
It's
work.
the
saw it.
haters
As soon as he
would
went to go
have,
sit down, he missed. Now they're not smart enough to see something like that. It was like a flash.
I love the women protecting him, but he's 6'2". They're way shorter. I agreed. I understand. I understand. That fist in the air won Trump the election. Absolutely, Mom. He talks for hours, probably more comfy in socks. Only 1 or 2 of those agents were Secret Service. Really? Oh, that's right. They said that the other ones were Homeland Security or something like that. They didn't give RFK Secret Service protection. They did. They actually did. They just awarded it to him. DOJ denied Secret Service and drones when Trump requested they were sent to Joe Biden's event. I heard that too. I'm hearing from some people that is not true, but I can't confirm one way or the other.
Well, did you hear that Jill Biden appointed the head of the FBI in her seat or wherever she is? That woman, her team got her.
Oh, Kimberly. Her name is Cheadle.
Yeah.
Her name is Kimberly Cheadle. And you want to know what? I find it interesting that Cheadle and Crooks, those are the names. Cheadle is the Secret Service agent and Crooks is the name of the shooter. God is so ironic sometimes. I don't know. Hey, the female agent couldn't get her gun in the holster, but she put those glasses on like a pro. I know. I saw it. That was awesomely. I did see that. Okay. Oh, I didn't see it. Did you see the security when he landed in New Jersey? Made me. Oh, yes. It was. He's just an absolute badass. And to all those extras who were saying that the next day he was out golfing, they dug up some photo of him golfing, and they said that he didn't call or didn't do anything for the family. That was bullshit because the golf course
he raised over $4 million for the family first.
Right, and Bedminster was closed the next day. There was no golf. He had no golf. He was traveling.
Well, they also put side by side pictures of him with no bandage on his ear, and said that was before the convention.
They are so desperate, so desperate.
I watched so many. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Cheadle
so many Dems post too bad.
Go ahead.
Too bad he wasn't killed. I am talking. I've been talking. Too bad he wasn't killed. They missed all. You know how many people I reported to their jobs? One was a teacher, the special ed for 3rd graders, saying he should have died. So I just sent all her posts to the school, and I said, "Shame on you."
Good.
Shame
There's
on
a couple
you.
of them, and I have them here. I donated $50 for the victims on the GoFundMe. Excellent, Howard. Excellent.
Can you post that GoFundMe? Because
yes,
I don't know where the legit one is.
Yeah, I will. I'll post it. I have to do it when we play a longer clip, and then I'll find it and post it. Called the family. Joe did too, and the widow refused to take the call. Oh, I didn't know Joe called and she refused to take the call. That's interesting. Elon Musk just gave Trump $45 million. Yep. Okay. All right. So, anyway, let's move on because we're as usual late. So, here is the angle that a lot of people don't see. You might have seen clips here and there, but I put them all together. This was how much time has elapsed and what was happening on the ground as Trump was speaking. Watch.
I wouldn't even be doing this. I could get some beautiful places, the gorgeous ocean, the Mediterranean. Look, they're all pointing. The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Instead, I'm here with you fighting cartel to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof with that.
Right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that said, take a look what happened.
Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
So that guy in the red roof was Secret Service. That wasn't him. That was him shooting him.
That's correct. But did you see that he had the gun trained on him while Trump was speaking?
Oh, yeah.
So you see a guy
100%.
laying on a roof with a rifle, with a scope, and you don't take him out? You wait for him to fire first? You wait for him to fire.
Or you don't tell the president to get out.
You don't
move him.
You don't stop him immediately. You don't take him out. I mean, what?
But not even that. You don't get the president out of danger's way.
Exactly. Hello, I got a shooter in my sights on a roof.
Go down.
Line of sight. Take him down. Take the president down. No, we wait for him to shoot and then we shoot him. What?
Just the same way as we let everybody into the Capitol and then decided that
But here's what Kim Cheadle said. Here's what the head of Secret Service says.
What was your reaction when you saw the events unfold on Saturday?
Shock, and then concern, obviously, for the former president. This is an event that should have never happened.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me. I am the director of the Secret Service. It was unacceptable, and it's something that shouldn't happen again.
The President and Homeland Security Secretary said today they had 100% confidence in you, but there are some members of Congress calling on you to resign.
I appreciate the Secretary's comments, and we're going to continue to be transparent and communicate with people.
You plan to stay on? Absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
No accountability. No, and then this is what she said. Afterwards, you could talk over this one. Her excuse for why there was no shooter on the roof where the shooter was. That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point, and so there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof, she told ABC News in an interview Tuesday. And so the decision was made to secure the building from the inside.
I didn't know the Secret Service had safety issues. They're keeping people away from bullets all day long.
But the roof that the sniper was on, who took the guy out, the agent was on, was a sloped roof. And there were 2 people on it. What? This is getting more bizarre by the second. This one, how stupid do they think the American public is? This is insane. And the fact that they didn't factor in that there were thousands of people with cell phones out that were looking at everything. That one video was a cell phone video from somebody in the crowd. That person saw the agent on the roof, was wondering why that gun was, he had his eye to the gun. People were on the ground saying that somebody was on the roof, climbing up the roof with a rifle, and we wait until he fires a shot, and then we kill him. This doesn't sound right. This sounds really wrong. And, the Congress better get to the bottom of this, because this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, I love this one. DEI didn't earn it. JA says Musk pledges $45 million per month, and that's to the PAC. He's funding. Biden said something about bullseye, but yeah, I got it. Third credible witness said that there was a second shooter in the water tower, which would explain the gunshots after Trump went down. Yeah. Okay. So this is, it's getting more bizarre by the moment. That sniper was waiting for permission. What bullshit. Yeah. I read accounts that he was fired because he was told to stand down, but he fired anyway. So I don't know, whether that's true or not. I haven't been able to track that down yet. Exactly. They had radios. Yes, they did. Reminds me of Bill Clinton closing New York Harbor Port on Staten Island. 9/11 comes to mind, like the obsolescence during the Trump rally. Yeah. You guys are cops. Billy, Ralph, tell us what's going on. Tell us what's going on. Apparently, an open carry state can't just shoot someone with a gun. Fact that it was aimed on Trump could be extenuating circumstances. No, Colleen, you can just shoot somebody with a gun. Somebody who climbs on a roof, even in an open carry state, who's got his rifle trained on the president of the United States, is a threat to that president, or the former president, is a threat. You can't think, I'm just... What? I just can't see the rally, so I'm using a rifle with a scope to see what's going on in the rally? No. You can just shoot. You can. She fired. I don't know if she's fired, but you would think so. Democrats don't believe in accountability ever. Well, we know that from Afghanistan. Sound like she's saying my fault, so what am I not? I'm not resigning. Exactly. More concerned about the security safety than Trump's. Yeah. I'll post that link in my profile page. Thank you. They were making sick comments about the failed assassination, or shoot to disarm. No, they never shoot to disarm. They always shoot to take down. Okay. All right. Here's some of the comments from the woke libs.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process. You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew, and he missed! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from half of the problem being gone, and you missed! There was a white man attached to that trigger. I know it! We were a centimeter away! Oh!
Why am I feeling so fucking depressed? I'm depressed! Why?
Don't miss Trump next time. Thank you.
That last one was Jack Black concert in Canada. And that was Kyle, what's his face? I forget, his partner, who said that. And now Jack Black has had to cancel all of his concerts. So
sorry, Jack Black.
Yeah. Well, you know, the FBI, the Secret Service has had a lot of problems, and here are a few.
One of Kamala's armed protectors reportedly flipping out this week and getting into a physical fight with another agent at Joint Base Andrews while waiting for the VP to arrive. Things got so crazy. The Washington Examiner reports that the agent had to be handcuffed and removed from service. The Secret Service confirms that the agent began displaying behavior their colleagues found distressing, but coy on other details, saying, quote, "This was a medical matter. We will not disclose any further detail."
What we know from the Secret Service is that it was a little before midnight last night when agents who are assigned to the president's granddaughter, Naomi Biden Neal, encountered some people, 2 or 3 people, breaking a window on a vehicle that was parked and unoccupied, a Secret Service vehicle. We know it was an SUV that belonged to that agency. When the agents encountered those people, one agent we know fired his service weapon. No one was hit there. And then the last report we got from the Secret Service is that those people, the suspects here, got into a red vehicle and took off. And so there was an alert put out across the city for that particular vehicle. At this point, we don't have any indication that the president's granddaughter was even aware that this had happened. And at this point, the Secret Service and the D.C. Police Department are investigating further, trying to track down the people who may have been involved in this incident.
This all happened Saturday when President Biden was in town. The U.S. Secret Service confirming the incident to CBS News. Tustin Police says around 9:30 p.m. in the Tustin Fields residential community area, they discovered that this victim was a member of the Secret Service and that his bag was stolen at gunpoint. Now, during that theft, the Secret Service agent pulled out his gun, shot at the robber, but nobody knows right now whether or not he actually hit the robber because the suspect took off.
We may never know who brought cocaine into the West Wing. The Secret Service says it's closing its investigation because of a, quote, lack of physical evidence. Now, just to recap it for you, the baggie of coke was discovered on the ground floor in a common area near the entrance to the West Wing. It was close to a set of storage cubbies. That's where visitors leave their cell phones during tours. Well, we told you last Thursday that senior law enforcement officials say the leading theory is that somebody on a tour may have left that baggie behind. Well, today the Secret Service told us they couldn't find any fingerprints or DNA on that bag containing the cocaine. They say they also didn't get any leads from surveillance video. In a statement, the agency says, quote, without physical evidence, the investigation will not be able to single out a person of interest from the hundreds of individuals who passed through the vestibule where the cocaine was discovered. So, I mean, guess case closed, right?
Who would leave their cocaine behind?
I don't know. Yeah. Who
Look for
do
the
we
one
know?
sleeping. Look for the one asleep. The crasher.
No. Oh, I'm going on a tour of the White House, and I'm going to bring my Coke with me.
Let me bring some cocaine.
Maybe I could party with Hunter. Maybe he'll be in. Maybe it was Svetlana.
It was probably some. We know Biden's too. Hunter's too smart to lose his drugs. There's probably some like little Republican kid who did it on purpose, and he has no fingerprints because he's not a criminal, and he thought it was hysterical. And look, he did it because it was on the news for months.
I don't know. The Secret Service, Homeland Security, they managed to find every single person who was there on J6, right? Every single
Not
person
us. No.
within a map. Well, we didn't do anything wrong. But
We didn't.
we did nothing wrong. Zero wrong. We were not in the.
In fact, you rolled up the gates, fixed them, and we left before everything happened.
Absolutely. But they managed to find every single person on J6 from facial recognition and everything else. You're telling me the security there's no security cameras in the area where people put cubbies? What happens if somebody had a detonation device? What happens if somebody had
There's also no Secret Service at a rally where the former president is. So
that we have a problem in America. We have a problem. And it starts with our president, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Even a drone could have taken the shooter out prior to the event, even firing a shot. You're right. You're absolutely right. The left is deranged. I can't believe it. But, I mean, really, Jack Black, they think that's funny. I mean, I don't. But they're already.
Could you imagine if the Republicans said that about, like,
Donald Trump.
AOC when she got raped? When she almost got raped on January 6th?
Donald Trump said when he was president, after the school shooting in Illinois, that as a nation we needed to move on and get over with it. After a heartfelt, this is tragic, it's terrible, this doesn't happen, especially in this community, blah blah blah. We need to move on, we need to get over it. But for the parents who feel like their heart is stopped, their life is stopped, they're never going to get over it, or something to those effect, we're with you, we stand with you. Do you know that all over social media is all they posted was get over it? Yeah, so this is insanity.
Well, look what they did to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, CBS.
And now that's all they say on TV, on every show, every left-wing show. They use Hitler as a joke.
Well, they don't believe that they're the ones that had the violence, and I'm going to show you now. Hunter said the coke was for the big guy. Yeah, really. Cameras. Yeah, cameras. Yeah. Cocaine is now cold powdered sugar. Excellent point, Letitia. Thank you so much. I don't know which one it was, but thanks. Please note the riots during Trump's inauguration. That was a real insurrection. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here's Biden being interviewed about, well, watch. I don't even have to set it up. Just watch and listen.
There's no place at all for violence in politics in America. None. Zero. And we've reached a point where it's become too commonplace, not assassinations, but to talk about it. For example, the January 6th, the attack on the Capitol. Lester, I got in this race early on in 2020 for the 2020 race. I wasn't going to run again because I lost my son. I didn't feel, and until I watched what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. Those folks coming out of the woods with torches, carrying swastikas, singing the same Nazi bile that was accompanied by this Ku Klux Klan, and a young woman was killed. And I was a bystander. And the then president was asked, what do you think? He said, they're very fine people on both sides. Not fine people on both sides. No excuse, zero.
Well, let's talk about the conversation this has started, and it's really about language, what we say out loud and the consequences of those. You called your opponent an existential threat on a call a week ago. You said it's time to put Trump in the bullseye. There's some dispute about the context, but I think you appreciate that.
I didn't say
words
crosshairs. I was talking about focus on. Look, the truth of the matter was, what I guess I was talking about at the time was, there was very little focus on Trump's agenda.
Yeah, the term is bullseye.
It was a mistake to use the word. I didn't say crosshairs. I meant bullseye. I meant focus on him. Focus on what he's doing. Focus on his policies. Focus on the number of lies he told in the debate. Focus. I mean, there's a whole range of things that, look, I'm not the guy that said, I want to be a dictator on day one. I'm not the guy that refused to accept the outcome of the election. I'm not the guy who said that won't accept the outcome of this election automatically. You can't only love your country when you win. And so the focus was on what he's saying, and I mean, the idea.
But have you taken a step back and done a little soul searching on things that you may have said that could incite people who are not balanced?
Well, I don't think, look, how do you talk about the threat to democracy, which is real, when a president says things like he says? Do you just not say anything because it may incite somebody? Look, I've not engaged in that rhetoric. Now, my opponent is engaged in that rhetoric. He talks about there'll be a bloodbath if he loses, talking about how he's going to forgive all the, actually, I guess, suspend the sentences of all those who were arrested and sentenced to go to jail because of what happened in the Capitol. I'm not out there making fun of, like, remember the picture of Donald Trump when Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit with a hammer, talking about, joking about it.
This doesn't sound like you're turning down the heat, though. You've talked about the...
No. Look, what I'm turning down, we have to stop the whole notion that there are certain things that are contrary to our democracy that we're for.
First up, how does he know he lied 25 times if he doesn't remember watching the debate? He doesn't remember being there. He doesn't think he watched it. So how do you know he lied 25 times if you weren't there mentally or physically?
I have another clip that will explain that in a minute. Babbling, indeed. People like Biden and the left are the reason that there's political violence and all they have is J6. Good point. Do you notice that the J6 dog whistle comes out of his mouth every single time? Even on the night that the assassination attempt happened, he got on and addressed the nation, and he talked about political violence, but he talked about it from the right. He talked about J6. The only thing he said was that congressional people on both sides had been shot, which is true. But he talked about he didn't talk about Kavanaugh and the fact that somebody went after Kavanaugh, but he did talk about J6. He did talk about Pelosi. He only talked about what we know, what are his dog whistles. Never ever said.
But 4 people were shot. 4 people were shot at this rally. 4 under his regime. 4 people were shot.
Exactly. But he didn't even talk about that. He didn't even talk about those
gun violence. You want to bullshit everyone. Talk about gun violence.
But the whole thing is that he was supposed to be dialing down the rhetoric, and finally, the reporter actually interviewed him. They covered him instead of covering things up, which is a breath of fresh air, I think.
And he got angry.
Oh, and it gets worse. His motor skills, balance, and speech are frightening indeed. Trump didn't lie. Ask Melendez of New Jersey. What? The more they go after Trump, the more golden he gets. Yeah, well, Japan likes him. If it's political violence,
Teflon Don.
Yeah, they didn't speak about Maxine Waters. He didn't speak about Chuck Schumer. Release the Kraken. Okay, so he basically says that the reason Trump got shot was his own fault. What?
I've never seen a circumstance where you ride through certain rural areas of the country and people have signs there, big Trump signs with middle signs saying F Biden, and the little kid standing there putting up his middle finger. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that is just inflammatory and a kind of viciousness. It's a very different thing than to say, look, I really disagree with the way he takes care of taxes, the way he wants a $5 trillion tax cut for people who are making a lot of money next time around. Doesn't focus on working class people.
But those are policy issues, and our history is a country that can thoroughly hash out those issues.
And if you notice, what do I talk about with him? The policy issues where he's dividing the country, the policy issues that relate to democracy.
Another question, if I can, about Saturday. Of course, the former president was wounded. One of his supporters died. A couple of more people were seriously injured. Was this a massive security failure?
I have had 2 meetings in the Situation Room with all the intelligence communities, the FBI, Secret Service, et cetera, and I've asked for a totally independent analysis, and we'll see what happens when that comes back.
Do you have confidence in the Secret Service? Do you feel safe?
I feel safe with the Secret Service, but look, and you saw what we did see was the Secret Service who responded risked their lives in responding. They're ready to give their lives to the president. The question is, should they have anticipated what happened? Should they have done what they needed to do to prevent this from happening? That's a question that's an open question.
Is it acceptable that you have still not heard, at least publicly, from the Secret Service director?
Well, I've heard from them.
But have you heard from her publicly?
Publicly, I've sat down in a Situation Room downstairs with the Secret Service, the FBI, the national security agencies, the Homeland Security, all the major elements. And there's 2 pieces of this, too. And it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. There's a major piece of this relates to domestic, local law enforcement. They play a large role. And so there's a different I'm not saying they weren't competent either. I'm just saying it's a complicated process. And what has changed, by the way, Lester, is, you know me, I like to meet people. I like to walk out, shake hands, move, look at people in the eyes, see what they're thinking. It's really curtailed that ability on my part and everybody's part. And so, because there's a heightened notion that when you say there's nothing wrong with going to the Capitol breaking in, threatening people, a couple cops dying, hanging up, putting up a noose, a gallows for the former vice president, and somehow and then you say you're going to forgive people for that? You're going to pardon them? That was just a normal response? That is not. I have my entire career voted against and railed against and moved against the idea of violence is never appropriate. Never, 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 never in politics.
So the BLM movement?
That wasn't violent. Those were peaceful.
Molotovs thrown into cop cars.
No, that was not violent. They were expressing their right to protest. The only people that can't express their right to protest, the only are the conservatives. But I always wondered, how did those people erect those gallows? I mean, what did they brought the wood, the screw guns, the rope. Did they put it in their backpacks? I mean, did they have a truck deliver the wood for those gallows? I never understood that because we never saw it, but we were on the other side. But I never saw it. And while they were putting it together, did anybody kind of come out and say, "What are you doing?" So I mean, we saw the gallows. I'm not saying they weren't there. We didn't say, we saw it on TV.
How'd you get it up?
We saw it on TV, but I'm just, we saw a lot of things on TV that when the tapes were released weren't there. When we saw, people, the breaking the glass and people climbing in, but we saw that on TV, but we didn't see it.
But that also happened now during all of the college stuff.
This is true, but that wasn't, and of course, all those protests, the people the Jews for Palestine, actually going into the rotunda, disrupting the Congress and occupying the rotunda. I mean, maybe it wasn't violent, but they were there to protest.
Occupying funerals.
Yeah. Well, Ralph puts up that this says 2018, Ralph. I don't understand. Something's wrong here. But 39 people were released that were J6 people. But do you notice how many times he invokes J6? That's all they have. And it was a big lie.
And half of them were Antifa.
Well, but we were physically there, and we always just presumed, right? We listened to the press, and we presumed that stuff that was happening, that violent stuff, was at a place that we couldn't see. But I don't even know. I don't know anybody that was there that said that there was violence. Nobody, except for after they threw the grenade, bangs there.
We were on the total. I think most people were on the other side because that's the most accessible part of the building, which is where we all were. What happened was in the front where the people with the bowls went. But everybody was on the lawn.
I'm just saying, what I'm saying is that we now know that so much of this was a Hollywood production. We now know. We knew then, right, that there was Antifa in the crowd. We knew then that there were cops in the crowd that were pretending to be Trump. We know Trump supporters.
I saw Antifa, the ones who beat me up 2 weeks before.
Yeah.
I saw them there.
Yeah. So, yes, it was a massive security failure. Civilians spotted the shooter before the Secret Service. Yeah, we showed that clip. Yeah, more babbling. Well, I got one more. Apples and oranges. Yeah, indeed. Biden takes out it. Those gallows were the media cameras. We didn't see it. That's what I'm trying to say.
But what's funny? They had that one set up in the back, and I didn't realize that was for the media. That thing that he had erected, that the kid was just
that tall
calling
thing
for
right.
peace.
Yeah, right. He wasn't.
That was
calling
for the
peace.
media.
He was saying, "Step forward."
That was for the next day.
Yes,
but that was for the next day.
Where was the gallows? I mean, I don't understand. My point is the Democrats.
If I saw a gallows, I'd be running. Trust me.
Yeah. College students that protest Trump are getting their college loans paid. That good point, Mom. Holy moly, good point, Mom. Good point, Mom. All right. And this is Biden talking about, well, he gets pissed here. Watch.
I guess the question is, are you all on the same page? Are you seeing what they saw, which was moments of, frankly, that appeared to be, you appeared to be confused?
Lester, look, why don't you guys ever talk about the 28 lies he told? Where are you on this? Why didn't the press ever talk about that? 28 times it's confirmed he lied in that debate. I had a bad night. I wasn't feeling well at all. And I had been, without it making, I screwed up. But
I just asked the question because the idea that you may or may not have seen what some of these other folks have seen, you're not on the same.
I'd have to see. I was there. I'd have to see it. I was there. And by the way, seriously, you won't answer the question, but why didn't the press talk about all the lies he told?
Well,
I haven't heard anything about that.
We have reported many of the issues that came up during that debate.
No, you haven't.
We'll provide you with them.
God love you.
Okay. Mr. Trump has said he's giving you a chance to redeem yourself. Basically, the idea of engaging in another debate.
We're going to have another debate.
Yeah, you're going to have one in September that's on the books. Would you be open to doing one in the next few weeks?
I'm going to debate him when we agreed to debate, and I'm going to debate him in September.
But if the opportunity came up to do one between now and then, is there a sense of wanting to get back on the horse?
I'm on the horse. Where have you been? I've done 22 major events, met thousands of people, overwhelming crowds, a lot happening. I'm on the horse. What I'm doing is going out and demonstrating to the American people that I have command of all my faculties, that I don't need notes, I don't need teleprompter. I can go out and answer any questions at all. And I stood there when NATO was in town. I stood there for an hour and answered questions. With that, I'll take your questions. I've been given a list of people to call on here. Reuters, Jeff Mason.
That's what I want. He said, first he said 25 lies, then 18, now 28. Someone just needs to clip that. Clip it. That's it.
Well, he has a golf handicap of 6, but it was 8. But I stood there for an hour without notes or a teleprompter. And and I had to put that on the end. I mean, he couldn't call on people. He had to have a list. Give me a freaking break. How stupid does he think the American public is? Or maybe he's just playing to his ex-buddies, and all those people that are going to regurgitate this crap on X. I think that the end is near. Thank you, J.A. Sometimes I get Biden-fied in my brain, too. I forget words, but I admit it. I know it. Watching RNC, I really want a cowboy hat.
I was jet lagged. 11 days you landed. 11 days.
He told 28 lies in this interview. This is true. You got to watch the whole interview. It was just amazing. And I just wanted to run in. I just wanted to yell, ask him, press him, because he did it again. He with good people on both sides. That has been debunked. They have constantly lied about Trump from the beginning, from the time he came down that escalator. They have lied about Trump. His character has been assassinated. They have, taken him to court. They're trying to get rid of his wealth. I mean, this man has been through it all, and now he's been shot. What more do they think that they can do? And everything that they have done has only made him more popular with Americans. Because here's...
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, I know he's happy he got shot. I know he's scared, but he's fucking happy. Because he's going to go down in history now, and not as a horrible tyrant.
No. When he wins again, I mean, if you just look at clips before 2020, everybody was happy. Everybody. And that just drives me nuts that when Trump speaks, he doesn't remind people of what their pocketbooks look like, what their lives look like, because before 2020, there are people praising him. And even with the handling of COVID, even Cuomo praised him. The Democrat governors were praising him. Then the switch went Then the switch went and something happened. And the Democrats figured they could figure this out. They had the news media. They could create all the lies, and the news media were going to protect them. And then the Hunter Biden laptop. We can go on and on. We cover this all the time.
All he has to say is look at your bank statements from then until now. Look at them. Look at them.
The Epoch Times has a documentary on what really happened on January 6th, how depressing the press can be. It's amazing. And if we ever get those files, holy shit. 10 people is an overwhelming crowd for Biden. Yeah, right.
Diane Sawyer should interview Biden.
They're all on his team. That's the problem. He needs to call on approved reporters. I'd love to see him out there in the cold. I would too. I would love to see him walk into the press room where KJP stands, and without notes and without a list, and just let
and without a microphone in the ear.
Right. Well, I'll even give him the microphone in the ear. Let him have the microphone in the ear. Let him have it, because if he had it, he'd freaking freeze the same way he froze.
I wish somebody would do to his teleprompter like they did to Anchorman. Just write, "I'm a shitty president" on that, so that he reads it. I would risk my job for that. I suck as a president. I have dementia.
Oh my God.
And he would read it.
That's fantastic. It's fantastic. All right. Well, the only, so we could see already Biden is not going to lighten up on the rhetoric, because that's all they have. They have nothing else. So he's going to continue to lie about Donald Trump. But the difference is now the press is not going to let him hopefully get away with it. He is going to continue to regurgitate the lies. He's going to continue to try and talk in sound bites. He is going to continue to go out there and fire people up about, domestic democracy, threats to democracy. So as he does this, my belief is that, the American people who are fighters. I mean, look, we are fighters. We're less than 250 years old in this nation, and we got here by fighting authoritarianism. And I have to tell you something. Today, he said at the NAACP, and he's been hinting at this all along, that he is going to do something to the Supreme Court to expand it, because now they're getting on the Supreme Court. And when you start to get on the Supreme Court, when you start to dismantle the branches of government and get the people to go against the branches of government, then you have a real problem. That's what authoritarian.
There's no democracy.
He is the biggest threat to democracy that we have ever seen. I don't think I've ever in my lifetime seen a president misuse his powers the way this president does. And oh, by the way, Judge Cannon in Florida dismissed the classified documents case. And that was based on what the Supreme Court said, right? So, and if you watch this interview, you see him talking about that. And now all of the little woke-minded are saying how political that was because Trump appointed her. I just want to ask this question. Who appointed Mershon? Who appointed Engoron? Democrats. So how come they twisted themselves into pretzels to deny Trump his due process, gag orders and everything else?
And that's going against democracy.
How is that not political? And this is the thing. People have to see this and they have to pay attention. And I think after somebody tries to assassinate a former president in front of live TV, I mean, think about that. A millimeter different. If he hadn't turned his head,
looked at that chart,
we would have seen a live execution on television. That's what we would have seen, the American public, and nobody would have been able to stop it in time, because that's how fast it was. As a matter of fact, one cameraman actually got a picture of the bullet, whizzing by his ear.
I think that was CNN. Was it CNN?
I think it was CNN.
CNBC. They did.
Yeah,
because people were saying that it was the stuff that bounced, ricocheted off the teleprompter. That's what hit him. That was the girl I reported to her school. I'm like, are you? And people like, show us where you got this from. And she couldn't.
Because they have a social media army out there. that literally,
and they want to win. Yeah.
And we know how that works, right, Jen? Because we work in the business. We know you give the talking points and they go out and they do it. And if you look at the accounts, they all have less than a couple of hundred people that follow them, and their whole job is to follow around anybody that mentions Biden and or Trump and to go after them. And that's what's going on, and that's how people are getting their news. So the only thing really that they have to hang their hat on is abortion. And that is tragic in and of itself, that this is the thing that the Democrats hold most dear, is the ability to kill a baby.
At 9 months. Yeah.
At 9 months, at any time. But listen, this is what their Gen Zs are saying.
Kill myself before I have a fucking baby. Take away my right for a fucking abortion, bitch. I will kill myself. And then you're out of 2 people, bitch. Now you're down 2, fuckers.
Good. I'm good. We're good. Okay.
How about if you don't want a baby? How about use contraception? How about,
or how about you give it up for adoption? You give
how
it up for
about
adoption.
be responsible? And how about why aren't we talking about making adoption easier in the United States? Why? I'd like to know.
It's easier now, and that's why it makes even less sense, because it is easier now.
Yeah.
You used to be able to adopt babies from other countries. Now you can easily get a baby from here.
That's right.
And
you should be able to get a baby from here easier. So why are we putting such stringent problems? Why is it so costly and difficult to adopt an American baby? Why? What insanity is this? That we'll give kids into foster care who have been abusing kids without any background checks. But somebody who says they want to
babies from
adopt a baby,
Africa,
yeah, we can't do it.
Africa, China.
Good night,
No,
Gloria. I know
them
we're
out.
late. It's not the first time that happened to Trump. No, it's not. Okay, bye, Angela, Ricka. Yeah, really classy indeed. Good night, Colleen. Jen, say your last words.
Good. I want her handle. I want to watch it. I'm going to go find her.
Okay, yeah, it was on. You got to go on X. It was on Cat's Herd's. Cat's Herd 2. I don't know what her handle was. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks for being with us. Remember, every Tuesday at 7:00. If you're on YouTube or Rumble, please like and subscribe. And if you're on X, reshare. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.